From Spanish Stonehenge to the Mona Lisa of dinosaurs, let us take you on an amazing journey of 10 surprising archaeological discoveries. Number 10. Spanish Stonehenge. Intense drought exposed the Dolmen de Guadalupe, the landmark renowned as Spanish Stonehenge, which was long submerged beneath the waters of the Valdecañas Reservoir. Spanish Stonehenge consists of about 100 boulders, some reaching as tall as 6 feet, forming a circle and is estimated to be 7,000 years old. The monument has been underwater since the government built the reservoir in 1963, and up to 2019, only tips of the standing granite stones could be seen peeking out of the water. The Dolmen of Guadalupe was first discovered in 1926 in an excavation campaign led by German archaeologist Hugo Obermayr. The settlement was also found not far away from the site, thought to date back to the time of the monument's construction. There are indications that the monument, just like Stonehenge, was not just used for religious purposes, serving as both a temple and a burial enclave, but due to its position, for economic purposes as well, serving as an important trade route. Local groups even started a petition to move the entire monument to higher terrain so that the stones can be studied in open air and visited by the general public. However, some archaeologists worry that moving the monument could speed up its decay, especially if the job is done in a hurry, in a race against the rising waters. Number 9. A 1,000-year-old sword found in a lake in Sweden. Imagine leisurely swimming in the local lake and suddenly coming upon an ancient sword. Weird, right? Few people can brag about having even remotely such an amazing summer holiday experience as 8-year-old Saga Vanacek, who accidentally found a 1,500-year-old sword while she was swimming in Vidöstern Lake, Sweden. This surprising discovery urged teams, including museum staff and local council, to carry out more excavations at the site. As a result, they found more ancient items, such as a brooch and a coin from the 18th century hidden at the bottom of the lake. Experts estimated the sword found by the little girl may even date to the 5th or 6th century AD, preceding the Viking era by hundreds of years. Number 8. Medieval female scribe revealed by her teeth. Even in medieval times, there were women who contradicted restricting social norms. Women couldn't have been scribes. Says who? The discovery of a rare, precious medieval mineral, lapis lazuli, in the dental plaque of a woman buried in the 11th or early 12th century at a German monastery led the researchers to examine how the woman of that time could have come into contact with that lavish and expensive mineral. What the pioneering research revealed was that the woman must have been a scribe, since the aforementioned mineral was known to be used to illuminate sacred manuscripts in medieval times. This groundbreaking discovery has shed new light on women's roles in medieval days, which were definitely more far-reaching than it could have been assumed. The very availability of such an expensive pigment to 11th century female artists serve as a proof of the existence of highly skilled, talented female scribes and manuscript illustrators. Benefits of the method of analysis used here are manifold. One of them being that it definitely paved the way to revealing even more early medieval female scribes who have been unnoticed, since it's truly rare to find their signature on what later proves to be their work. Number 7. Buried treasure dug out in Greece. Ready for a treasure hunt? Then stay tuned to hear more about the buried treasure dug out in Greece. The University of Cincinnati archaeologist team had been working on an 18-month excavation project near the ancient palace of Nestor in the town of Pylos on the southwest coast of Greece, when they literally dug out buried treasure. The 2 Bronze Age tombs they unearthed contain numerous artifacts such as bronze weapons, gold and silver cups, and hundreds of precious and semi-precious beads of amethyst, carnelian, amber, and gold. The discovery of the royal tombs, which date from 3,500 years ago, aside from its amazing wealth, provides an invaluable insight into the lives of ancient Greeks and roots of European cultures. It also helps understand the connections between the ancient Mycenaean society on mainland Greece and the Minoans on the island of Crete. The two cultures were probably more intertwined than it was previously believed, together giving birth to what we know today as Western civilization. The next fascinating discovery on the list is even more compelling. But before we move on, take a second to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content. Number 6. The Mona Lisa of Dinosaurs. Are you a fan of the Game of Thrones series? Then I bet you're gonna love hearing this story about the Mona Lisa of dinosaurs. This is yet another story of an unsuspecting man shocked by his discovery, which, this time, was a 110 million year old dinosaur. This perfectly preserved specimen of dinosaurs was uncovered at a Canadian mine in 2011. What's unusual about this dinosaur is not that just its bones or teeth survived for millions of years, but its flesh. Heavy body armor and skin remained untouched. Even though it looks like a dragon just out of the set of Game of Thrones, the fossil of this beautiful and exquisitely preserved herbivore reveals its tough life among meat-eaters that were predominant in its environment. However, this plant-eating dinosaur had its own means of survival in the predatory surroundings, using its scaly skin as camouflage. The Mona Lisa of dinosaurs, weighing 2,500 pounds and measuring 18 feet long, has been exposed at the Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology in Alberta, Canada since 2017. Number 5. Graffiti stone in Jerusalem, discovered to be part of a Crusader-era altar. What was before known as the Graffiti Stone, an undistinguished large rock tilted against a wall in a dark corner at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem's Old City, became an evidence of a complex and troubling religious and political scene of Jerusalem, which actually traces its roots way back in the past. When two Israeli researchers inspected the other side of the graffiti stone, they found out that the overlooked artifact seems to be part of a high altar created in the early 12th century by medieval crusaders for the holiest church in Christianity, whereupon Mass was celebrated for over 500 years. The stone's elaborate design clearly has links to the latest Roman style, symbolizing the power, both temporal and spiritual, that the papacy acclaimed during the 12th century, according to art historian and New York architect Paloma Pajares Ayala. In the definitive book on the style, that suggested the stone was carved and inset when the Crusaders reconstructed the church. Number 4. The newly found room of the Golden House, Rome. Domus Aurea, or Golden House, was an immense palace built by the Emperor Nero in the heart of ancient Rome after the Great Fire in 64 AD had wiped out a big part of the city. The Golden House covered about 125 acres over parts of Palestine, Esquiline, and Cillian Hills, and it was actually built as an estate that included not only a palace, but abundant gardens on top, vineyards, green pastures with flock, and an artificial lake of immense size. No wonder that it was described as Rus in Irbe, or countryside in the city. It was built using groundbreaking technologies and decorated in the most lavish and extravagant style, using precious metals for embellishment. Golden House was discovered in the 15th century by accident, and has since been the site of exploration, excavation, and restoration. It wasn't until recently that the new palace room was discovered, while some parts of the palace are being restored. The newly found room is decorated in frescoes that show different mythological creatures, instruments, and decorative plants. The most interesting part of its column on top of which is a golden bowl and sphinx, which is why the room is also known as the Room of the Sphinxes. Number 3. A major breakthrough in Maya archaeology. Thanks to advanced technology called LiDAR, light detection and ranging, researchers were able to scan more than 800 square miles of the Maya Biosphere Reserve in the Payton region, Guatemala. and find tens of thousands of previously undetected Mayan ruins, which include its infrastructure along with farms, houses, and defensive structures. This astounding revelation completely reshaped the perception of how Maya civilization actually looked like. Contrary to popular belief, Maya city-states existing between 1000 BC and 1500 AD were well connected and densely populated with far more developed systems than anyone could have assumed. This amazing discovery has been a major breakthrough in Maya archaeology, and all the results suggest that ancient societies living in Central America were a more advanced culture that can be compared to advanced and sophisticated civilizations such as Greece or China. The LiDAR images show not only hundreds of previously unknown structures such as houses and farms, but also a highly developed infrastructure that connected urban centers and quarries, advanced agriculture due to construction of complex irrigation and terracing systems was capable of providing food for a vast number of workers. Number 2. An ancient Aztec temple discovered after an earthquake in Mexico. This discovery will shake you to the ground, quite literally. After the devastating earthquake in 2017, archaeologists responsible for evaluating the damage caused by the earthquake used radar to scan the 13th century Teopanzolco pyramid south of Mexico City. What they found inside, hidden from plain sight for such a long time, was an even older shrine, thought to date back to 1150 AD and belonged to the Tlalhuaca civilization, one of the Aztec people living in central Mexico. The temple is dedicated to Tulac, the Aztec rain god, and is situated inside a double pyramid at Teopanzolco, whose name roughly translates to "in the old or abandoned temple." The temple is located 43 miles south of Mexico City in the state of Morelos. Another team of researchers went to explore and verify the existence of a hidden passageway underneath the Pyramid of the Moon in the ancient city of Teotihuacan, which presumably might have been intended as a symbolic passage to the underworld. Number 1. Old Kingdom Tomb. Guess no list of archaeological discoveries can be complete without mentioning Egypt and its ancient secrets hidden deep within the pyramids. One of the most stunning discoveries was that of the 4,400-year-old tomb of Khufu, an official who lived at the time when the pyramids were being constructed in Egypt. A team from the Czech Institute of Egyptology discovered an amazing and colorful tomb of a high-ranking official, Khufu, whose many titles included Secretary of the King, Companion of the Royal House, and Overseer of the Tenants of the Great House. All these titles indicate that he was an official of great importance. But what makes this discovery unique is the exceptional preservation of the tomb's vivid paintings. The paintings include vibrant depictions of ships at sail, Egyptians working in the fields, and complex shapes and patterns that are almost indescribable. The colors bring these paintings to life, and the fact that they're so well preserved, despite the passage of more than 4 millennia of time, is extraordinary. One of the main boards portrays Khufu himself, seated before a table full of food, drinks, and other offerings meant to sustain him in the afterlife. All of the scenes depicted in this tomb, the quality of the paintings, the tomb's closeness to the pyramids, all of this is not typically seen in other Old Kingdom tombs, which suggests that Khufu played a pivotal role in scenes of the tomb owner who are highly unusual in Old Kingdom tombs, says Megahead. The high-quality paintings of the tomb's proximity to Djekar's own pyramid and its design, which mimics that of a tomb belonging to a 5th dynasty pharaoh, all suggest that Khufu played a prominent role among the royalty. Which of these amazing discoveries did you like best? Let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content.